Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crooked Hour. Today we're going to be breaking down rapid fire picks on this UFC card, UFC Fight Night, Thompson vs Holland. Great event. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's also just because we missed an event and once you miss an event, I just miss it. I'm like, I need it back. But at least we're not coming back with like a shit fight night like that last fight night was terrible. At least we're coming back with an actual exciting fight night. And one that has my favourite fighter on it. And there's a lot of great little fights on here that didn't really know was happening until I looked into it. I'm not going to lie, I don't know some of these fights. So, it's kind of a mixed bag. You're going to get something, you're not going to get something. I'm not claiming to know everything about these fights. I know a little bit, but some fights I don't know anything. So we're just going to do this rapid fire. Might have to skip some. But starting off is a fight that I do know about. Yazmin something versus Istela Nunes. I've got Yazmin. She looked great in her last fight. Actually, I bet against her. And I thought her opponent looked great too. I don't know if she got a UFC contract or like if she's still in the UFC. But she looked great too. They both looked really good. Yazmin just showed that, the girl she was fighting was really good, and Yazmin beat her and was just a little bit of a level ahead. I'm going to expect Yazmin to do the same thing here, but a little bit more dominant. I don't rate Istela Nunes as much as Yazmin's last opponent, which I should probably check who her last opponent is. Lucindo, yeah, Lucindo. I really rate Lucindo, and she beat her. So going for Yazmin, I believe by decision. By dominant decision, 3 rounds to none. Yazmin's going to win. Next fight. Don't know much about this fight, but I'm just going to go Francis. There you go. Nathan Levy versus Gerardo Valdez. I don't know. This is a close fight. Like, I don't know a lot about both these guys either, but this is a very close fight. From what I've seen, they both have a path to win here. It's a hard pick. Just trying to think like what each person does better than the other. I probably have to give it to Valdez just because he's got a slightly better ground game, and I feel like he's just a little bit better. He's just a little bit better, and if it does hit the ground, I think he's going to have a little bit of an advantage. So Valdez is my pick for that fight. Honestly, don't know much about it. Tracy Cortez against Amanda Ribas. I've got Tracy Cortez. Amanda Ribas is going to give a problem, sure. But I'm going to go for Tracy Cortez. I just think her wrestling, I think she can kind of, she makes every fight close. I feel like she's just going to grapple this one, use her judo, use her wrestling to really just hold Amanda Ribas down. 2 rounds to 1, split decision maybe. But I feel like Tracy Cortez is going to get it done in a very close fight. Darren Elkins versus Jonathan Pearce. I've got Jonathan Pearce. I believe he's a big favourite for a reason. I feel like he's going to get the job done here. Just better wrestler. Darren Elkins has looked a bit slower. So I'm going with Jonathan Pearce by decision. Michael Johnson versus Marc Diakiese. This is an interesting matchup. This is like one of the fun ones, It's one of the fun ones. I'm going Marc Diakiese. I hope we see some more striking from Marc this fight. Like, we mightn't, but I'm hoping we do. Because it would be good to see him strike again, He's just been grappling. Be good to show some of his striking game, but on the feet he's got to be careful striking against Michael Johnson because Michael Johnson has that power that everybody knows, and he's got underrated stand up. I feel like he could just tag Marc if he's on the feet for too long, but I want to see shades of Marc stand up. He can grapple when he has to, but I want to see shades of his stand up. I think Marc Diakiese is probably going to win this one by decision as well. I'm seeing a lot of decisions on this card. Marc Diakiese by decision is my pick. Clay Guida versus Scott Holtzman. I'm going for Scott Holtzman. I just feel like he's going to be a little bit better. Better striker. Slightly better grappler. It's going to be close on the ground, but on the feet, I just feel like Scott's got a little bit of an advantage. Plus, he's a big guy. Can have a strength advantage over Clay, who's freaking old now. Don't know exactly how old he is. Surely he'd be close to 40, 38, 39, I'm going to guess. I feel like Scott Holtzman's going to get this one done. Just a bit bigger, just a bit stronger. Scott Holtzman's pretty old himself, but I feel like he's going to be able to get the job done. Angela Hill versus Emily Ducote. I'm going to go Angela Hill, but it's a close fight. It's a 50-50 fight. If you're betting, this is like the type of fight that I'd just stay away from, you know? Like, Angela Hill, she really impressed me her last time out against... Who was she fighting last time out? Last time out was against Godinez. I really thought Godinez was going to win, but Godinez just lost to Angela Hill. And she's looking impressive. She showed great takedown defense in that fight and great striking. I feel like she's going to be able to really just fight on the outside here and rack up enough points to be able to win 2 rounds to 1 or maybe even 3 rounds against Emily Ducote. Emily Ducote does have power, sure, but I just feel like Angela Hill is going to be a little bit better. Like, what do we have? Yeah, she can get TKOs in Invicta, but her one fight was a unanimous decision. I don't know. I just feel like Angela Hill is going to be able to fight this on the outside and get the win as an underdog here by decision. Niko Price versus Phil Rowe. I think Niko Price is going to win this one in a close fight, though. Close fight. Again, I feel like a decision. I feel like a decision for Niko Price. Does Niko Price really be getting those finishes? I feel like Niko Price doesn't be getting those finishes. Yeah, he doesn't really be getting those finishes. Like, it's possible. It's possible for a finish here, but I'm just going to go Niko Price by decision. Phil Rowe, sure he's got decent power. Sure he's got decent grappling. Sure he's got decent striking, but I'm just going to bank on Niko Price's awkwardness to be able to get this one done. Fighting on the outside, picking Phil Rowe apart and getting the decision win. Eryk Anders versus Chris Daukaus. I nearly said Kyle Anders. Another good one. I don't really believe in either guy here. Like, Kyle Daukaus was a big up-and-comer. And then he's kind of like, he lost to Roman Dolidze and some other guys, and he's just kind of mid-range. Like, I don't know if he'll ever be elite, but he's kind of just there. And Eryk Anders is kind of just there as well. Like, and Eryk Anders, like, we look over his career, like, it's been nothing ever special. Like, a loss to Junior Park, lost to Nunes, lost to win against Stewart, but I mean, I don't think Eryk Anders is anything special, and I just believe Kyle Daukaus is going to get it done by... I need to stop picking decisions, but I'm feeling a decision again. I'm going to say, though, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say by round 3 sub from Kyle Daukaus here. Round 3 sub, that is how Kyle Daukaus is going to get it done here. Next up, Jack Hermansson versus Roman Dolidze. I'm going Roman Dolidze. I know this is on short notice, but Jack Hermansson just doesn't have the pop in it for me. Like, he just doesn't have the pop in his strikes enough. Like, Roman, in my eyes, Roman's going to look strong in there compared to Jack Hermansson. Like, sure, Jack Hermansson has strong grappling, but I just think Roman Dolidze on the feet and in the clinch is just going to look way stronger than Jack Hermansson. That might sound like a casual thing to say, but I picture them in the clinch and in those situations, and Roman Dolidze off his back, like against who was he fighting last? Oh, Phil Hawes, and he's just elbowing Phil Hawes off his back, and it's like, I feel like a Roman Dolidze on short notice would cause Jack Hermansson problems, you know? I feel like if Jack Hermansson can weather the storm in the first and second round, sure, he might be able to pick it up in the third, but just don't know if he's going to make it there, you know? His striking looked good in his last fight against Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis couldn't just get in, but it wasn't nothing special. He wasn't hurting Chris Curtis, you know? He's just kind of poking at him from the outside, and I feel like if Roman gets to Jack Hermansson, which sure he mightn't get to him, but Roman's got a nice clinch. And, you know, we saw what he did to Kyle Daukaus with that knee. Yeah, I feel like Roman Dolidze is going to be a problem for Jack Hermansson there. I'm going for Roman Dolidze, and I feel like he's going to win by round 2 TKO. Bit of a back and forth first round. I don't want to disrespect Jack. You know, I like Jack. Great fighter, but I'm going to go Roman Dolidze first round TK. I feel like that's when he's going to be the strongest. I feel like he might just catch Jack Hermansson with a knee or like a nice, just something nice in close range. That's going to be my pick. And off his back, he's just going to be elbowing Jack Hermansson in the head. Sergey Pavlovich versus Tai Tuivasa. I'm going Tai Tuivasa, but the reach scares me. The reach does scare me. And just the way Sergey fights scares me. Like, the thing is, I'm an emotional picker. So if you want to know who I think's going to win, sure, Sergey. But my heart is telling me Ty's going to win. My heart. But Ty does have a great path to victory for being an underdog. Like, in the clinch, he can really cause Sergey problems. Those leg kicks are going to cause Sergey problems, you know. Ty's got a nice chin. He's durable, you know. He could be getting tagged by Sergey and hit him with a nice shot. I know Sergey has a great guard and great, you know, defense, but I don't know. So does Cyril Gane, you know. So does Cyril Gane. I'm just going to bank on it. Tai Tuivasa, round 2 TKO. Bit of a back and forth round. Maybe Ty gets dropped. Maybe Sergey gets hurt in moments. They're both sort of exhausted in the second, but that's where Ty kind of thrives, you know. Ty kind of just keeps pushing on when you're exhausted, and we don't know if Sergey does that. So Ty, I just bank on Ty's durability to be able to get him through the first to the second, and then he's just going to make this a dogfight and catch Sergey with something nice and then ground and pound him. That is my pick. I don't know much about this fight besides Matt Schnell was getting bodied in his last fight before he pulled off the win. But I'd be lying if I said I knew much about his opponent. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like, they win over Tim Elliott. That's impressive. Manel Cape, that's impressive. Yeah, you know what? Just because Matt Schnell was like pretty much losing that whole entire fight, but somehow he just could not get finished, I'm going to go with this Nicolau to get the job done here. But I don't know much about this fight, but if I just had to go off Matt Schnell's fight, I'd be going Nicolau. Bryan Barberena versus RDA. I think the obvious pick is RDA, but something tells me that Bryan's pressure is just might pay off. But then Raphael thrives in those moments. So I'm going to go RDA. I think he gets this one done. I feel like he's just a little bit slicker. He's got the ground game to rely on. He's more diverse. Bryan's just mainly with his hands, a boxer, pressure, eats big shots. But I feel like RDA is just going to be mixing it up enough to win this. It's only a 3-round fight. I feel like RDA is going to be able to mix this up enough in the first 2 rounds to win it. Maybe Bryan wins the third, but maybe RDA wins the third as well. Like it could go either way in the third, but I think the first 2 rounds are going to go to RDA. So I'm going to go RDA by unanimous decision. That is my pick. The main event. Now, I've done how to bet both ways for this. I'll plug it in. I'm going Kevin Holland, baby. I think Kevin Holland gets a job done here. 6-inch reach advantage. Got the ground game if he needs it. You know, just the thing that I have to say is the main thing that I don't think he's getting brought up enough about this fight is that Kevin Holland's reach is going to cause Stephen Thompson problems. You know, Stephen Thompson likes to fight out the kicking range, kick from a distance, you know, come in and out when he has to. I just really feel like Kevin Holland's reach is going to be able to catch Wonderboy when he's coming in or coming out. And it's a 5-round fight as well. It's not like Wonderboy can score up 3 rounds and win a decision and maybe not get caught. Like, this is an extra 2 rounds that Wonderboy can just get caught with a power shot from Kevin Holland and, you know, hurt. And Kevin Holland's got his jiu-jitsu if it hits the ground as well. I think the smarter pick is just Kevin Holland. Like, the reach, the ground game to back it up. Sure, Wonderboy's a great striker in his own right, like amazing striker, but he is nearly 40, you know. He is nearly 40 and he has been looking a little slower lately. I know there's been a lot of ground pressure, but to me he's been looking a little bit slower. He looked alright against Bilal, but he had moments where he looked a little bit slow and, you know, Bilal could get in on him, and I think if Bilal can get in on him, I think Kevin will be able to get in on him and really, really work those powers, you know. I was rewatching Kevin's fight against Buckley, and in close, you know, elbows. I feel like elbows are going to be great for Kevin Holland in close here. You know, just kind of smothering Stephen Thompson when they get too close, you know. Out in range, he's got the reach advantage. Get in too close, smother him with the clinch, you know. Elbows, you know, flying knees. You know, because he doesn't have to worry about things like takedowns. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, throwing up a flying knee and getting taken down. And if he does, then he can fight off his back because Wonderboy isn't no Hamzat or no Vittori or no Brunson. So I think Kevin Holland gets this one done by 4th round TKO KO. That is my pick. So those are my picks, everybody. And yeah, it should be a great card. Hope you all enjoy. And as always, guys, have a good one.